Alright, so today we're looking at compare and ordering decimals. We know that we need to know how to recognize our place value position when comparing and ordering decimals. Diego? Alright, so I'm going to write down several numbers. 6 and 314 thousandths. 6 and 304 thousandths. 6 and 4 thousandths. And I'll write one more. 6 and 10 thousandths. So I have, 10 hundredths, 10 hundredths. I have four numbers. Now, we need to pay attention to our place value position. I noticed that 3 out of 4 of these numbers go out to the thousandth spot. Thousandths, thousandths, thousandths. 1 goes out to the hundredths. I noticed that 2 of these numbers have the same place value position in the tenths. 3 tenths, 3 tenths. Another number has a 0 tenths, and the last number has a 1 tenth. So, if you had a question that asked you to compare and order these numbers from greatest to least, greatest to least. Okay, so greatest means what, Mia? Greatest means what? Biggest. Okay, biggest to smallest, right? Okay, the biggest number to the smallest number. So, the best strategy to use to do this, what I like to do, so that I don't make a careless mistake, is rewrite the numbers vertically. If you read the numbers horizontally, let's look at the numbers vertically. And to do that, we need to make sure all the place value positions are lined up. So 6 and 314 thousandths, 6 and 304 thousandths, 6 and 4 thousandths, and 6 and 10 hundredths. Okay, so we have all the place value positions lined up. If I'm going from greatest to least, what's the first place value position you see when you read a number? Obviously, we're dealing with a number that's not huge. What's the first place value that you notice, Jessica? When you read the number, when you read the number, what's the very first number you say? Right, and what place value is that? The ones. So notice, all the numbers are very similar, aren't they? They all have a 6 in the ones place. So we can't use the 6, we can't use the ones position to help us here. We have to go to the next position. And so the next position, so here are our ones. We now have to go to what place value, Michael?
Ones, we have to go to the tenths.
Tenths. So what do you notice about the tenths, Michael?
That they are all the first numbers? Wait, no. They have a higher value?
So Michael, you should see that all the tenths are different. We have, if we're looking at, we have 2 that are the same, 2 are the same, and then 2 are different, aren't they? And if we're going to compare this number, and we want the greatest number first, we know that the greatest number is either going to be 6 and 314 thousandths or 6 and 304 thousandths. So we now need to look at the second place value position after the decimal. And what do we notice? What place value is that, Corey?
The hundredths.
That's the hundredths, isn't it? So the hundredths position is actually going to help us determine which number is the biggest number. Because Daniel, what value is that 1 right there. It's worth 1/100th. And look at the value of this hundredth. It's worth what, Daniel? 0/100th. So I know that this 1 right here in the hundred spot makes this the largest number, number 1. And therefore, I know that the second biggest number is going to be right here, number 2. Okay. Now I have 2 numbers left. I'm going from biggest to smallest, biggest to smallest. So 1, 2. Now, we have to go backwards again. We already know they all have the same 6, but we have to go back to the tenths. What's going to be the next largest number in the tenths position, Matthew? 6 and 1/10. We have a 1, and we have then a 0. So we know, just by looking at the tenths position, we know that this number is the next biggest number, number 3. And therefore, the last one will be number 4. Now, I know you guys have been taught, one thing that you can do when you have numbers that have a different, that goes out to a different place height position, such as hundreds and thousands, what could you have done right here to this number? 6 and 10/100ths is also the same as what? Someone say. Adrian. 6 and 100,000ths. This is the same thing. Now look, all the numbers look the same. They're out to the thousands. Now you're just comparing, pretend those are like, pretend you're not really looking at a decimal, and you're just comparing 314, 304, 4, and 100. Well, what's the largest number? Well, 314. Second largest number, 304. Third largest number, 100. Fourth largest number, 4. So we just compared and ordered 4 numbers that were similar by recognizing the place value position.